to you, and with people of the tube, about everything ground knows by in your world. Hello there! Today we are going to talk about John Frusciante's Les Paul custom tone. Some people have asked, can I do a video on it? Yes I can, and here we are. Hi there! So, let's quickly talk at the beginning what John uses, as it's very simple. It's his Les Paul custom into a Marshall Silver Jubilee, and that's it. It's just a Silver Jubilee on the distortion channel, the red channel. You pull a dial out and it's just distortion, and that's it. It's called the Slash rig, as a Silver Jubilee and a Les Paul have been the staple of Slash's sound forever, pretty much. And that's that. So what I'm using to replicate that today is this gorgeous Epiphone Les Paul, which has been very, very kindly lent to me by a very good friend of mine. And it probably won't go back, as I really like it, and I'm going to steal it. I'm not going to steal it, don't worry about that. The amp I'm using is the Marshall MG. It just seems to have a bit more of that kind of right tone. You know, you heard it at the beginning of Ready Made. It's just got a bit more, it sounds a bit more right compared to the custom and the orange. It just has a bit more of that kind of right kind of sound. I've got it on overdrive 2. I've got gain at 6, bass is on 4, mid is on 4, no treble, no contour, channel volume is on 10, master volume is on 1, no reverb. As you know, Silver Jubilees don't have reverb. John really didn't use reverb, and especially in the Slash rig, it's just a guitar and amp, and that's it. Again, I'm not using any pedals, so it's just straight into the old amplifier. And the sound you want to be kind of going for with this is a real aggressive but fat, warm kind of tone. And John, 99% of the time, will be using neck humbucker only. There are occasions where he's in middle with both of them on, and there are occasions where he's using just bridge. But predominantly, the Ready Made sound and Fortune Fader sound is neck humbucker only. So, and it kind of wants to be kind of bright but punchy, you know, the kind of, you know, typical kind of John kind of sound, regardless of what it is. But it kind of gives you that. You know, there's a lot of clarity of sound there, and I say it was called the Slash rig because it sounds like Slash. It really does. It's got that tonality, and I say, you know, Silver Jubilee and a Les Paul is one of the cores of Slash's kind of iconic sounds. So, and that's the kind of sound you want to be going for. It doesn't want to be super saturated because you've got humbuckers; it'll just get mushy. But it does. You do want a fair amount of gain, so you can do the. It still comes through fairly powerfully. If you've got too less gain, that'll sound a bit weedy. Like I say, and it's mainly neck pickup. There are occasions where he's in the middle. There's a version of Fortune Fader where he's in the middle and he goes kind of quack. Yeah, on occasion on the breakdown of Ready Made, he would switch to a bridge pickup and do this thing with his the ring he had on his little finger. I've used the pick, but he uses that ring he's got on his little finger, which is super cool and sound amazing. So yeah, baby, it's not going to be mega long videos. There's not a great deal to cover. It's just a Les Paul or anything with a neck humbucker into a Marshall kind of sounding amplifier, that kind of mid-rangey kind of amplifier with an aggressive but fat kind of tone. So, and that's it really. There isn't much to it. So. Yeah, and preferably you need a black Les Paul of some description. John actually had the pickup covers off, which does make humbuckers brighter. So, and I don't know, I just think it looks cooler actually than having pickup covers on. I quite like the kind of a black look. But anyway, enough rambling on about that. But that's the kind of sound. That's literally all I can say about it. It's just that really nice aggressive sound, but really fat at the same time. And really, ideally, you don't really want to be using pedals. It's more of an amp kind of tone, if that makes any sense. There are pedals that will replicate it, but it's more of an amp kind of thing, really. It's a bit funny, you know, it's a bit weird. But anyway, quick video on that. I hope, you know, this has made sense. And I say, you know, if you go to bridge pickup, you kind of hear those. You know, those kind of slash kind of sounds, but it is, go to your neck pickup. Got those kind of sounds there, so he's basically just ripping off Slash. anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. You know, as I say, keep it simple with, you know, John's Les Paul kind of sound. You know, just nice, fat Marshall aggressive sound. Neck humbucker, stick to neck pickup only, unless you feel the need to change, which John didn't do a lot. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again for another one very soon. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again. Goodbye now.